Welcome to the Kindle MMA full card predictions and breakdown for UFC Fight Night Gilbert Burns versus Sean Brady. Real quick, if you want to join the Topology group, you can see my picks there, and you can also compete against me and other people that are also in my chat. So I'm going to go ahead and link that right now as I pull it up. Let me find my groups on Topology. We have 17 members. Once we get to around, I believe, 30, 40-ish, maybe 50-ish, depending on how I'm feeling, we will be awarding prizes to the top predictor of, I want to say month or week. I don't know. Maybe I'll stick with like a pay-per-view. And then I think once we move past, like once this channel grows and gets bigger, we'll add weekly ones. Yeah, whatever. You get my point. Like the top predictor of the pay-per-view will get the prizes. Let's get these going. Let's get these riled off. Let's get these picks going. Starting off with Zigomantis Ramaska versus Nathan Fletcher. This fight was on last week's card, and I believe I picked Zigomantis to win. Actually, no. Sorry, I picked Nathan Fletcher, but I think it was somebody. No, it wasn't. I think it was Zigomantis, but I picked Nathan Fletcher. Guys, Cage Warriors champ, fought in Cage Warriors, really good promotion. I like him a lot. Zigomantis, I don't know much about, but the name Nathan Fletcher is okay, whatever. Just go find that video. I probably went over it, whatever. I don't care. But I'm picking Nathan Fletcher by decision. Now let's get into like a real prediction here. Andre Petroski versus Dylan Budka. Now, Dylan Budka lost his UFC debut, I think it was. Yeah, UFC debut to Cesar Almeida, who's a kickboxer. I picked Dylan Budka. He's mainly a wrestler, and so is Andre Petroski. Andre Petroski, the issue that I have with him is the fact that he lost to Jacob Malkoun. To like, it says on Topology, ground strikes after a hard collision. So what happened was, if you didn't watch that, is that he went for a takedown, and I guess the hip of Jacob Malkoun pretty much knocked him down. It was a really weird phantom KO, and Petroski really isn't that bad. Like, he's somewhat mediocre on the feet, but he has good wrestling. And I feel like Dylan Budka is the same way, but he is 24 years old. But I think losing to Cesar Almeida and not being able to get grappling off against him too effectively and getting finished by him is kind of like iffy. You know what I mean? And Andre Petroski, he might be chinny. He might be chinny in hindsight, but you know what? I think that he's not really a veteran, but he's been in the UFC for quite a while now, and he fought on the on Tough. I think that was the Volk Ortega series when he fought on that. But beating Gerald Mearshart in hindsight is kind of a good win. I ain't gonna lie. Mikel Pereira, it's Mikel Pereira. At middleweight, Mikel Pereira is different. The Jacob Malkoun, whatever, I'll let it go. I'll let it go. He beat Josh Fremd a month ago. He's staying active, trying to get back to where he left off at. I'm going to give good old Andre Petroski the nod here over Dylan Budka, who, again, is a bit green, worries me with his grappling. And if he doesn't really get grappling done on Petroski, which I don't think he will because Petroski is also a grappler, then it's going to be on the feet. And I think Petroski is going to be good enough to be able to beat Dylan Budka, but I wouldn't be surprised if he chins Petroski after that fucking Malkoun loss. Let's be real here. So Petroski I might go submission, round 2. Maybe round 3, round 2 submission. Moving on. Oh my God. Jacqueline Amorin versus Vanessa Demopoulos. Demopoulos is kind of garbage. She's 35 years old. She has good jiu-jitsu, and that's really about it. Not a good striker. She's a bit aggressive, though. Like, she will go after, like, she's not like a pussy. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really... Like, that kind of style can take you a long way in MMA, especially women's MMA. Jacqueline Amorin, 8-1, like, she has some level of talent. Lost to Sam Hughes, which is egregious, you know what I'm saying? Like, she shouldn't be losing to Sam Hughes. But she submitted Corey McKenna. Gonna be gonna be a shit fight, we know it. Probably not gonna be entertaining at all. Jacqueline Amorin decision. It is what it is. Maybe she can submit Demopoulos. But Demopoulos has a good jiu-jitsu. I don't see her submitting her. I think on the feet she wins, and I think on the ground she wins as well. Just that jiu-jitsu style is going to be fucking weird. Creasley getting beat. It's Cresley, and it's Kresssley, not Creasley. Moving on. Gabriel Santos versus Yija. Now, I'm really high on Yija, man. I think he's underrated, bro. Like, I know he lost to Young Lee back on Road to UFC, or like the final of it, but I always thought he was really good. I thought he was one of the guys who looked pretty decent on that entire show. I was pretty high on him going far and like possibly winning that. Taking Young Lee to a split decision, I think is pretty good. Even though I believe Young Lee just lost a fight. Yeah, lost to Hyder Mill in a bullshit way. Like, again, like, a lot of these Road to UFC guys, bro, like, they just end up disappointing. a lot of the time, bro. Yeah, he just threw hooks with Hyder Mill. I remember watching that. It was such a stupid fight. But Yijia can grapple. He can strike. He's mainly a grappler by trade. I think he's going to use his grappling effectively. Gabriel Santos gets killed by Onama. Onama's powerful in the first round. Onama's a powerful guy. Loses to Lerone Murphy by split decision, which isn't bad, honestly. I'm high on Yijia. I think he'll be one of these guys who comes out of the road to UFC and like actually be decent. Like, who's the other guy out of road to UFC who was pretty decent? He hasn't fought in a while, man. He hasn't fought in a while. What was his name? He's a grappler too. He fights at I believe featherweight or bantamweight. I don't remember his name, but he's a grappler. He has some talent to him. But I think I trust Yijia, 27. I trust him. He's an underdog in this one, but I think he finds a way to get it done by decision. I think he'll grapple up Gabriel Santos. I think he's sneaky good. Road to UFC fighters are either really good or ass, hard to call. They're all pretty bad. At some point, they all pretty much get exposed. That's just like the funny part about Road to UFC is like they might have a good like first couple fights in the UFC, and then they lose to like a scrub. And then you see like Zhang Young Lee, who's like a fucking, look at this guy, powerful dude, fucking finishing everybody in the first round, like looking really good. And then he fights Hyder Mill and just does like the worst fucking, like he can't handle the pressure and just gets KO'd by him. These road to UFC guys always end up disappointing for the most part, but I really want to trust Yijia. I really want to trust him. I trust him. I'm trusting him for this one fight. I will. Moving on, Andre Lima versus Felipe dos Santos. Fuck. I'm taking Andre Lima, but I do like Felipe dos Santos. Felipe dos Santos, he's basically a flyweight Oliveira. Basically gets hurt in his fights consistently, but like he walks people down. I believe he trains to shoot the box as well. He does. Trains to Oliveira's gym. He has the Oliveira style. People are picking Dos Santos to win this fight. That's crazy. He's the one that got bit, right? Yeah. Let me think about it a little bit more because when I was like just looking at this fight, I was thinking Andre Lima because Felipe, his last when he fought Victor Altamirano, it looked kind of weird. He just didn't look good, but that was an elevation, wasn't it? Yeah, Mexico City. Yeah, I will throw out that that Mexico City fight with Victor Altamirano because Altamirano was grappling and like he's gassing, and when he fought Manel Cap, he looked good. He looked like he could compete in the UFC like and be a decent flyweight. Andre Lima won his debut by biting, whatever, has the tattoo, cool. Mitch Raposo, I don't think is that good, honestly. Took him to a split decision. I'm taking Felipe dos Santos. I think that fight versus Manel Cap on the feet looked really competitive, and he looked really good. And he did get hurt at times, but he came back and put it on Manel Cap at times. I think I have to give dos Santos kind of the nod here. I am worried, though. I am worried against him and Andre Lima. But I'm taking dos Santos' decision. It's flyweight. Not really any finishes. Moving on. Isaac Dulgarian versus Brendan Marotte. Dulgarian lost to good old Christian Rodriguez, but he's a good grappler, bro. Like, this guy has elite wrestling. This guy has fucking everything. Not everything. Like his pace and his wrestling are really, really fucking good. Brendan Marotte got KO'd by Terrence McKinney. That's pretty much it. Not the most active guy. Terrence McKinney's dog shit. Dulgarian's actually a good prospect. Dulgarian by submission, round one or two. No, he gets the back quite consistently. I think Dulgarian, like, he gets the back quite a lot. He couldn't finish C-Rod, but C-Rod's kind of tricky on the feet or on the ground. Sorry, I'm going to take Dulgarian by submission, round one. Or TKO. I don't mind either one. It is what it is. Moving on, Ovince St. Preux versus Ryan Spann. Now, I don't rate Ryan Spann that highly, but I don't rate a 41-year-old Ovince St. Preux that highly as well. Ovince St. Preux is way past his prime. He needs to retire. He beat Kennedy Nzechukwu. God, Nzechukwu. Why? Lost to Tanner Boser by KO. Lost to Jamal Hill by KO. Beat a old man, terrible Mauricio Hua, who shouldn't have been fighting at that time at all. Ryan Spann's on a 3-fight losing streak, but he has power. Lost to Bogdan Guskov. Lost to Anthony Smith in a really weird fight. Nikita Krylov's really good. He needs to fight at some point, man. Draw? Yeah, I wish. No, I don't wish it to be a draw. Waste my time. Ryan Spann has power. Ovince St. Preux is 41 years old and kind of getting chinny a little bit. I think, even though Ryan Spann isn't that good, Ovince St. Preux is just way past his prime. I'm taking KO, TKO, round one for Ryan Spann. We'll move on. Rong Zhu versus Chris Padilla. And now, wasn't Rong Zhu in the UFC for a little bit of time and then got cut, and then I think he went on to Road to UFC, and now it's back on. How old is he now again? Sorry, 24, so still really young. They were like trying to make Rong Zhu like the next Song Yadong, because they were like, because Song Yadong came into the UFC very young, and this guy had talent, but let me find. Yeah, he came into the UFC, lost to Rodrigo Vargas, beat Brandon Jenkins, lost to Bahamondes, got cut, and then went back on road to UFC, and now is fighting in the UFC again. Rongju, again, road to UFC guys really kind of scare me, man. I really am not going to lie. These road to UFC guys really fucking scare me. He beat this guy, Chris Padilla beat James Yontop, which is by KO, which is actually kind of impressive. Watching who just fought James Yontop? Who just fought Yontop, bro? Who just fought Yontop? It just happened like last week, and a good fight as well. Borshev, it was Borshev. He didn't look too bad against Borshev. This Chris Padilla guy might be a bit tricky, bro. Beat him by submission, grappling. Oh shit, I might have to watch him fight real quick. But I'm taking Chris Padilla, grappling, Rongju, Chinese. Not that good in the UFC. I don't really trust him on the ground versus Chris Padilla. Like, he's beating all these road to UFC guys, but road to UFC is like a fucking terrible. Like, they're all pretty much bad. Like, I don't really rate road to UFC at all. So I'm taking Chris Padilla, who beat James Yontop, who looked good against Borshev on the feet. So it's like, if he can take him down and submit him, I think he can probably take down Rongju and submit him as well. I'm going on a limb here and picking Chris Padilla. Moving on. Trevor Peek versus Yanel Ashmuz. It's near evens. People are picking Trevor Peek. I'm taking, Ashmuz. KO, TKO, round 3. Trevor Peek is fun to watch. Don't get me wrong. I like my boy Trevor Peek here. But he has no technical skill whatsoever. He just is wild and throws a bunch of fucking strikes. While Yanel Ashmuz is a powerful guy, just like... I might go first round, honestly. While Yanel Ashmuz is just as powerful as Trevor Peek, but more reserved and more technical. I really don't like this matchup for Trevor Peek at all. I want him to win. I wouldn't mind him winning, but I think Yanel Ashmuz is like a different kind of, you know what I'm saying? I like Trevor Peek, but he is just a bit too unorthodox, and he does carry power, and Yanel Ashmuz is a bit too undersized, but he's not much smaller than a Trevor Peek. I think he'll be, it says he's 5'9", but I don't think he's actually like legit 5'9". I think he's probably like 5'8", 5'7"-ish. So I think he will be a bit smaller than Trevor Peek, but not by much. And I think when it comes to being on the feet, I think, Ashmuz, like, he's really not that bad on the feet. And Trevor Peek is just a bit too wild, and his chin's up in the air, and he just does a bunch of strikes, and he just goes for broke a lot of the time. I don't trust that against Yanel Ashmuz. I think he'll find a shot on the chin and put him down. So I think after a while, Trevor Peek just can't take a lot of shots. I'm thinking we're going to see Yanel Ashmuz hurt Trevor Peek, and then like it's going to be like a snowball effect of just like a lot of ground and pound and a lot of like him going after Trevor Peek consistently, and then eventually he finishes him by TKO. Moving on. Matt Schnell versus Alessandro Costa. Jesus Christ. Costa's powerful. Not that good at flyweight, I don't believe, but Matt Schnell, you just can't have a bad fucking chin, man, at flyweight. You just can't. His chin is horrible. Costa can grapple as well. He can strike. I don't think he's that great, but losing to Steve Erceg, not a bad loss. Losing to Amir Albazi, not a bad loss. Beat Jimmy Flick by KO. Beat Kevin Borjas by KO. Like, he has power. He can KO people at flyweight. And Matt Schnell typically has one of the worst chins. And like, he just doesn't move his fucking head. He has no head movement, man. 34 years old, chin's only getting worse. Like, he has, like, Matt Schnell is your typical jiu-jitsu guy. Costa's Brazilian. He has a good ground game as well. I don't see Matt Schnell getting anything off effectively against Alessandro Costa. I see a nice, quick round 1 KO. Whatever, we'll move on. This is the fucking feature fight? Cal Nelson versus Steve Garcia. What'd you say? Noah, you said Nelson a sleeper pick. I got him by finish. I ain't gonna lie. Steve Garcia is kind of a good... I kind of want to pick Steve Garcia, man. When's his last loss? Lost by KO? I don't see Cal Nelson KOing him, bro. Cal Nelson's decent, bro. He has a chance. But Steve Garcia is tall. He's rangy. I'll tell you this right now. Cal Nelson is not 5'11". Definitely smaller than that. Getting older as well. Like, he beat Bill Aljo, cool. Beat Fernando Padilla, cool. Blake Builder, cool. Guy killed Sungwoo Choi. Melquizel Costa. Nerdy Mbeke. Chase Hooper, he finished, which is kind of a good win nowadays, bro. Beating Chase Hooper is kind of a good win. He's kind of wild on the feet, though, Steve Garcia. Like, he's the most technical fighter, but he is long and rangy, bro. Do we know how good his gas tank is? I don't think we've seen him in, like, the second round in, like, a long time. If this fight goes on for a long time, then I might be worried, but it might just take a guy like Jai Herbert to be able to beat Cal Nelson, like a guy who's technical, a guy who can like slow down the fight and just outpoint a fighter for 3 rounds. I think I might fucking just go by decision. I'll play it safe. But I'm taking Steve Garcia. He's rangy, bro. Cal Nelson doesn't really impress me that much. He's winning fights. Like, he's not bad at all. Like, he has good striking. He has good body kicks, I believe. I believe Cal Nelson's body kicks are really, really nice. Steve Garcia is long, rangy, kind of wild, but he lands and he's very, very powerful. I'm going to take Steve Garcia to get this one done. Moving on. Jessica Andrade versus Natalia Silva. We'll move on. Here's actually a fight that I want to talk about, though. Gilbert Burns versus Sean Brady. I'm going to go out on a limb here. And I know Sean Brady's younger. I know he's the dog in this one. I know he's the fucking man or whatever. Like, he has good wrestling. He beat Gordon Ryan in a fucking jiu-jitsu match. I think getting TKO'd by fucking Bilal Muhammad is the worst thing that could happen to you in your entire career. I ain't gonna lie to you, that is by far the worst thing that could possibly ever happen to anybody at welterweight, is getting standing TKO'd by Bilal Muhammad of all people. Sean Brady isn't helpless on the fucking feet. Like, he can go out there and land some good body kicks and like stay alive, but it maybe just it's a Bilal Muhammad pressure. And Gilbert Burns is aging, getting old, but I don't see Sean Brady hurting him. I don't see Sean Brady laying a knee like Jack Della did in the third round and have a comeback finish. He hurt his arm in the Bilal Muhammad fight. It is what it is. I mean, beat Kelvin Gastelum, who can't really grapple at welterweight. I don't think Sean Brady's that good. I don't think he's that good. And on the feet, bro, I don't see Sean Brady like, maybe Sean Brady can take down Gilbert Burns and just hold him down and just half guard, full guard camp for 3 rounds. That's possible. But Gilbert Burns is pretty decent. Now I'm thinking about it, though. And Sean Brady could sit, no, because in jiu-jitsu tournaments, it's a bit different. They kind of want to be on bottom a little bit. They don't really care about, whatever. Sean Brady might be in danger trying to take down Gilbert Burns with the jiu-jitsu. And I think if Sean Brady, if at any point shies away from being on the feet or being on the ground with Gilbert Burns, I think Burns is a way better striker than Sean Brady. I think he has more power, and I think Gilbert Burns gets this one done. I think maybe in that 4th, 5th round, we might see a Sean Brady who don't know how to fucking do it. You know what I'm saying? Burns can strike way better than Brady. Exactly. That's my whole take here. He's old. It's worrying, and this might be a dumb pick in hindsight, but I'm going to take Gilbert Burns here. And I might take him by finish. 3rd round finish. I think Sean Brady might tire out and not be able to handle it, bro, on the feet. Oh, dude, getting TKO'd by Bilal Muhammad's crazy. Bilal's good as fuck, though. Yeah, like, I'm not saying Bilal's a bad. Like, having that loss in your record isn't bad, but what I'm trying to say here is that, like, Bilal don't finish anybody with his hands or even on the ground. You know what I'm saying? So, like, for Sean Brady to get TKO'd by him like that is fucking awful. Bilal is like the Batman of the UFC, can prepare for anyone and beat them. But Bilal grappled Burns. Not really. Not really in their fight. He mainly just outstruck, he outstruck, Gilbert Burns the entire time because Burns had one arm. Like, it tells me, bro, if Bilal Muhammad's not grappling up Gilbert Burns, I don't think Sean Brady is. So I think if it's on the feet, bro, I trust Gilbert Burns to be a better striker than Sean Brady. I know Bilal's a champion. I know he's good. He has great pressure. He has, great grappling as well. Good cardio. Everything's good about Bilal. Besides, he just can't finish nobody. He just can't finish anybody with the hands. And his striking is very pressure heavy, but there's a lot of holes in the striking game. Like, he can be chinned, right? If you can deal with the pressure of Bilal Muhammad, like, I think a good counterpuncher would be able to fuck up Bilal Muhammad. And I think Edwards just didn't know what to do. I think he was just lost. Just on the feet, he has no power. His striking just isn't that amazing. He just has a lot of strikes he throws at you. Like, if you're getting finished by Bilal Muhammad, standing TKO, like, I think it's very, very embarrassing. Like, if he lost a decision where he out-grappled and he outstruck, it is what it is. He lost. But getting standing TKO'd, yikes. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go ahead and go through my picks again. I'm taking Burns by KO round 3. I'm taking Silva decision. Steve Garcia decision. I'm playing it safe there. He could get a finish, though. I'm taking Costa round 1 TKO, KO. Taking Yanel Eshmuz, 1st round KO. I'm taking Padilla submission, round 2. I'm taking Ryan Spann KO round 1. Taking Bulgarian submission. I'm taking Felipe dos Santos decision. I'm taking Nija decision. I'm taking Amorin decision. I'm taking Petrosky submission. A lot of submissions for me today. I'm taking Nathan Fletcher decision. Thank you guys so much.